My name is Somashekar, course faculty for this course. Hello friends, very good morning to one and all. Hope you have enjoyed the last lecture 23rd. Please note, you have studied in the last lecture the followings: introduction on pneumatic control system, different types of hand operated air tools, basic design features of pneumatic circuits, designations to be followed while designing the pneumatic circuits. Please note friends, in pneumatics we are representing the cylinders 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 if multiple actuators are there, and all the valves are numbered, which we have learned in the last class. Breakdown of a control chain, hardware arrangement for signal flow. Here I am given in the fluid power system and electrical system how it is signal flow. From the tank, pump, control valves, then it will go to actuator, correct? Always it will move from the down to up. Here we have seen how the signal flow will takes place in fluid power, oil hydraulics and pneumatics, and it compared with the electrical systems. Build up of the circuit diagram also we have discussed in the last class. Some typical circuits for various applications which are task dependent. Please understand all the circuit diagram. After connecting all the elements, once it is actuated, how they will work, you will understand. Always circuit is drawn in the null position, that is, actuators are always in the retracted position. The operations will start once we will give the one push button. Generally, the one valve, the DCV, either it is a 2x2 way valve or whatever it is, 3x2 way valve, whatever it is, one they will keep as a main valve. After pressing this, everything will start moving, because that is the main control valve, what we are called controlling the fluid flow from the source to other valves. In today's lecture, we will discuss in detail some typical sequencing pneumatic circuit. Here we will discuss in detail analysis and how signal conflicts occur during the operation and how to overcome these signal conflicts and various methods how to overcome these signal conflicts, which generally occurs when we are operating the multiple circuits in pneumatics. Quickly we will see the today's organization of presentation. Pneumatic control system is continued. As I have already told, the 4 lecture hours for the circuits, 2 for hydraulics and 2 for pneumatics. I am bringing together in 2 classes. That is very tough job it is, friends. You will learn other circuits also. In today, we will discuss representation of the control task or a problem restricting to multiple circuit design, how to represent in the text forms, positional layout form, notation form, displacement step diagram, displacement time diagram. All the operation first you have to represent in these forms for better understanding the task, how it is performed. Last class we have discussed about the 5x2 way valve. Today also I will give one slide on roll of 5/2 directional control, double pilot valve. It is also known as a memory valve. Signal conflicts and various methods of overcoming the signal conflicts. Next we will move on to the cascade method, design and operating principles here. Here we will discuss the power supply positions for 2 group, 3 group and 4 group circuits. These are very essential when we are handling the 2 actuator, 3 actuator, 4 actuator in sequencing. Finally, I will conclude today's talk. We have studied many circuits in the last lecture, highlighting main problem statement and how to draw the circuit and analyze the flow path for each actuations. Today, we have extending our study on controlling the multiple actuator to perform the given task in the same order. A pneumatic circuit has to be developed for realizing the following control task. Until end I will take this problem and I will analyze in each steps. Control task is stamping operations. Cylinder A brings the job or a workpiece under cylinder B. Cylinder B stamps the job. Please note, cylinder A retracts only after B retract. This is a condition. After knowing the control statement, let us will see the representation of the control problem in multiple circuit like this, either by the text form, positional layout form, notational form, displacement step diagram. If you know the timing for each step, you have to represent displacement time diagram also. Let us will see, knowing the task in mind, for better understanding, after conceiving the problem in the mind, we have to represent this control task using any one of the methods. First we will see the text form. Same thing we have to define in the text form. How it is? Now it is a 2 cylinder stamping operation, as I have told you. Cylinder A 1.0, cylinder B 2.0. Cylinder A extends and brings the job or a workpiece under the stamping cylinder B. Cylinder B then extends and stamps the job. Cylinder A can return back only after cylinder B has retracted completely. A pneumatic circuit has to be developed for realizing this control task. After understanding the problem, you have to form like this. It is a text form representation. The same thing you have to represent in the positional layout diagram also. How it is? Just I have shown here. 2 cylinders I am taken here for representation. cylinder A 1.0, cylinder B 2.0. What is the duty of A? Cylinder A brings the workbench which has a workpiece under cylinder B, meaning it should extend to bring here. After bringing here, cylinder B will extend, stamps the workpiece. Then what? It will go back. Then only A will go back. You will see you have to represent the motions like this. This is representing the same task in the positional layout diagram. Move on to notational form, how to represent this. Same task. Cylinders are designated as I have told you, A 1.0, B 2.0. A plus, forward motion of cylinder A. A minus, return motion of the cylinder A. B plus, forward motion of the cylinder B. B minus, return motion of the cylinder B. Then how to represent the control task in the notational form? First, which cylinder will extend? A plus, then B plus, then B minus, then A minus. Altogether, you represent the control task in notational form: A plus, B plus, B minus, A minus. Whatever the cylinders are there, you have to represent in notational form like this. A plus means everyone will understand cylinder is extending. A minus means cylinder is retracting. First, you have to represent the defined task like this. Now, how to represent in the displacement step diagram? Already we know that control task is like this: A plus, B minus, A minus. This is a diagram, it is what I have drawn here. I am taken for cylinder A operation, cylinder B operation. These are the steps. What happens here? You will see here control task from 0 to 1 means the retracted position, extended position, like this it is. First A will extend, A plus. Then what happened? That time B will not extend. Here after the A extend, B extends. Then what happened? B retract. Then A retract. Please understand this circuit diagram. Displacement step diagram. Finally, both cylinder will be in the retracted positions. Then it will cycle will repeats. A plus, B minus, correct? A minus. It will repeat. If you know the timings for each step, you have to represent this in the displacement time diagram. Same it is, friends. See here. Now I am taking for each step A plus some 10 seconds, B plus 20 seconds, B minus 10 seconds, then A minus again 10 seconds. Then cycle will repeat. If you know the timing, you have to represent like this also. That's why displacement step diagram and displacement time diagram looks same. Then one more is there. Generally, fluid power engineers are used notational form and a displacement step diagram to represent the control task. How it is, we will see now. You will see now, friends, where the circuit will start, always in the retracted position, as I have told you. Cylinder A should retract, you have to monitor. B should retract in the retracted position. Then we have to monitor the retracted position of the A cylinder and a B cylinder. If you are sensing this using the sensor, then A will extend, then only B will start extending, meaning I want to know the extended position of A. Similarly, the extended position of B. All the retracted position, extended positions are sensed using the sensors. Now I am writing here the sensor positions A0, A1, B1, B0, A0. Now we will see the A0 when cylinder is in the null position, which will makes the cylinder to extend. Once it will extend, where it will go? It will extended position A1. A1 will generate. You will see here A1 will generate. When A1 will generate, B will start moving, extending. The extended position of the B will generate the B1 signal, which makes the B minus to happen. When B minus come back, meaning it will sense B0, then A minus will take place. Then cycle repeats. You will represent like this: A plus results in A0 signal, then B plus will take place. When B plus will take place, B1 signal will generate, which makes the B minus to happen. When B minus will take place, it will generate the B0. Then A minus will take place. Then cycle repeats. Please understand this. Meaning I am showing you here the extended and retracted position of the cylinder. These are nothing but we are using the limit switches A0, A1, B0, B1. We will see further. Before that, already you have seen this, correct friends? Quickly I will tell you, this is very important in the today's discussion also. This is a 5x2 directional control double pilot valve, or also known as a memory valve. See here friends, without this it is your 4x2 DCV, two positions. But with this 14 and 12 are the pilot signals. It is a 5x2 wave valve. Already we have seen in the last class also. Now I will show you how they will work. Referring to the figure, this is a cross-sectional views of the 5x2 wave valve. This is a valve body which has the ports 2 and 4 are the actuator ports C1 and C2, what you will call. Then one is a pressure port or a power source. 3 and 5 are the exhaust port. You are seen already in the last class. Now we will see here what happens in the figure B. A pneumatic signal available at pilot port 12 causes the spool to switch over as shown in figure A. What happened here friends? See here, causing the fluid paths 1 to 2, energy is going to 2. Then the cylinder will extend. Whatever the energy is there at the other side, it will pass from 4 to 5, exhaust. But you will remember, other side port is blocked, correct? The valve remains in this position. Even if the signal at port 12 is removed, that is the beauty of this valve. When it will cut off, whenever the signal is coming from the other side of the pilot port. Now let us will see, if the pilot signal is applied at a pilot port 14, then the spool will switch over like this. In this position, what happened now we will see, 1 is connecting to 4 and then 2 is connecting to 3. Now 5 is blocked. Please remember friends, the valve remains in this position even if the signal at 14 is removed. When it will switch over? When opposing signal will come. Remember this. Hence, it can be observed that a double pilot valve is a two-position valve that remains in one position until a pulse or a continuous signal is applied in the opposite directions. Please remember friends, one major problem is there in the 5/2 direction control valve. What is that? You will see now. A major problem with the memory valve is its inability to change the switching position when pilot signals appear simultaneously at both the pilot ports 14 and 12. It will get stuck whether I will shift here or I will shift here. These signals produce equal and opposite forces on the valve spool and hence the latter tends to remain stationary until one of the signal goes off. This is what we can call it as a signal conflicts. This problem is called a signal conflict, also known as signal overlay, which is a major hurdle in multiple cylinder circuits because we are using the 5/2 way valve. 5/2 valve biggest problem is when two signals, pilot signal 14 and pilot signals, both are coming at a time, what happens? No, it will not understand, but it will remain in the previous state. Various methods have been devised to overcome the problem of signal conflicts. The following valves or modules may be used for the purpose of avoiding the signal conflicts. What are those friends? You already seen this 3/2 idle return roller valve, reversing valves or memory valves, modules as a combination of valves.